All right, it looks like we are live. Hello, everybody. This is meteorologist Andrew Pinero with this weekend outlook forecast. Now, I know I said previously to anybody that was on the last stream on Tuesday I was going to try and get the weekend outlook forecast on Fridays. I just couldn't rest last night, so I figured I'd go live with the weekend outlook, especially with Memorial Day weekend outlook for you today. Delvin, hello. Thank you for joining. Now, I'm also trying to figure out some interesting things. If you notice, the webcam doesn't look the smoothest right now. OBS is showing me 17 FPS to 20 FPS. I do not know why. This is a pretty powerful computer, and I don't know why it's struggling, so I have to play around and figure out why. The only thing I could think of is I have to lower the resolution of the screen. The screen is 5K, and it's downsampling to 1080 and then outputting, so it may be overloaded. That's something that happened with my gaming setup, so I gotta figure out some things, especially with the iMac setup here inside of the green screen studio. All right, so Delvin, how are you doing? What is the weather happening at your area? Because I want to also, let me see, bring up and get this radar over here. There we go. Let's get some things up and ready. Some weird things happening right now. There we go. So we're going to have some radar, and we're going to have some satellite. We're going to go through the Storm Prediction Center, and then the National Hurricane Center. And then we're going to head to the good old tropical tidbits for the forecast models. And then I'll throw in also today pivotal weather. I know I didn't do that last time, because pivotal weather has the European forecast model. So let me bring that up in here as well. I think that is it, because on my screen that I'm seeing, everything looks perfect. Smooth 60 FPS. And then I know I didn't switch yet, but smooth 60 FPS on my screen, but I see the webcam in OBS is pretty low right now. Yeah, it's showing 17 to 20 FPS right now, which is not the best. All right, pivotal weather. Let's get that European forecast model. High res. Into the northeast US. There we go. Let's bring up also the icon model. The German model. I got the right model run, the 12Z model run. And the last but not least, let's bring up the NAM. Okay. So I got my little show stacked, and now let's start to share this out. Memorial Day weekend, 2020 weekend outlook live. looks good. We got that out to the Twitter. Now let's go to the Facebook. Delvin, what do you think of the whole goatee? All right, got page 1. Let's get this next to page 2. All right, that is posted out there. Well, at least the internet is pretty stable, and I know that. 0 dropped frames because I have this computer set up on Ethernet. I have Ethernet set up in this studio versus Wi-Fi up in the bedroom where I do the gaming. Okay. Let us begin here. So, I have here on the computer the national radar. And this is why I like this bigger screen too, because of how big the screen is, so I can see the whole national radar map. So if we take a look at a couple things, there's not that much happening. We have our kind of messy system going on right now. And then we have a little bit through going a little into the central part of the country. A little bit, it looks like it's stretching from Idaho, kind of going into that area. And that's really about it. Let's focus a little bit more on what's happening in the Northeast right now. So here, I have radar scope up and running. Let me actually turn the expert mode off. A little bit cleaner look. There we go. So here I have the radar set up to OKX, which is the Islip Airport, or the Islip area in Long Island. See the base station right there. And it looks like we're actually having some kind of retrograde motion with this storm. And it's rain coming in from east to west, which is kind of counterintuitive. Usually you have weather systems called synoptic scale weather systems move from west to east. California gets the system first, and then we get it later in the eastern part of the country. But here, this system is, just because of what's happening in the upper atmosphere, this is moving from east to west. And just covering in the New York City area, which is right around here. It's a little bit of a lull right now. But we do have, going through Long Island, Suffolk County, through Nassau County, heading into the eastern part of the city. There's more rain there. Northern New Jersey, going into the Hudson Valley, Connecticut, all this area, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts. Not too much. Let me see if I switch that radar for you, Delvin. Here's the Boston radar. And here, we're not really seeing too much heading for the majority of the state of Massachusetts. Not too much happening, but Delvin, what's happening by you in Boston? You seeing any of the rain happening right now? Let me get that. Let's get a little bit tighter. Let me see. Why is Boston not coming up in here? There we go. You having anything? Because I'm not sure if that's just ground clutter around the Boston area, or if that's actually some little spotty showers here and there. But otherwise, majority of Massachusetts and north didn't really have too much. And this green line right here, this is the Storm Prediction Center, which we'll take a look at in a minute. That's the Categorical Outlook. And the Categorical Outlook was just showing nothing severe, just some garden variety kind of thunderstorms. And that's really about it. We're going through Connecticut. Yeah, there's still that kind of training line of some showers moving. Almost due east. And then heading into Jersey here. There's not really too much happening. I did have some reports from someone that is in southern New Jersey right now. And you've seen her on the channel before, Meg. Meg's in southern New Jersey, and there were some pretty strong storms. There was some thunder and lightning that woke them up at like 5 or 6 in the morning, I think it was. Let's say 5 to 7, there were some thunderstorms. And with this radar scope, we can go backwards. That's why I have a 30-day archive of radar data inside of this. So let's go to, let's say 6. 6? Nope. Okay. There we go. 6 a.m. 6:26. Here is the radar from 6:24 specifically a.m. And with this, let's play it. So you're seeing through, here's Philadelphia, Camden, Trenton. This system was pretty intense. Now, the only thing I don't like, and I don't know if they can or they can't, the archive radar data, it doesn't have lightning. But this morning when I did look at this, right here, if we follow this cell, let me draw out here. Right there, that cell. We kind of follow that cell's movement, there was quite a bit of lightning that was inside of that cell. And that kept moving through, and it really didn't come north, so it really stayed kind of this Tom's River level in New Jersey and south. So that was this morning. Before really, once you get up to the New York City area, there really wasn't anything inside of that just yet. All right, let's head back to live radar. So it did really kind of, as this system moved out, and we'll see this here, that cluster right there, that's what was in southern New Jersey this morning. So that system's moving out, and then we're having kind of this wraparound. If this was winter, we may be seeing some wraparound snow. But essentially, it's summer with Memorial Day, so this Memorial Day weekend, we are seeing this retrograde wraparound little bit of rain still lingering. Now, I can't completely rule out a thunderstorm for the rest of the day, but it's still not on the highest chance. I have 66 degrees where I am, and the dew point was 64. So, pretty high dew point, almost 100% relative humidity. And where was I? Let me go back to here. So, like on the live data, live radar, you see the lightning strikes out into the ocean. That's really all I'm seeing right now. I don't see lightning anywhere else. So that's where, yeah, we could see some of this. And this system, if we kind of follow it, it looks like it's heading towards the Jersey Shore. So Long Branch is kind of in sight of this system. So there could be still some thunderstorms throughout the area. It's just not that high of a chance. Now let's take a look at that through the Storm Prediction Center. And most of the country, the eastern part of the country, is at least in some sort of a general garden variety risk of a thunderstorm. But in our area, that's really about it. There's nothing higher until we get more west. So we do have some marginals. There's 3 slight risk areas, and then we do have an enhanced. Now, the enhanced, the severe thunderstorm scale, you start with just that light green, which is general garden variety. Then you get marginal, then you get slight. That's 3 out of 6. Then you have enhanced, then you have moderate, and then you have high. So enhanced is 4 clicks up the 6 scale severe weather system, the severe markers. So that's pretty impressive. And I just want to zoom out here. There we go. There's that enhanced risk, and we have tornado warnings. We'll spend a little bit of time briefly here. Tornado warnings. Cedar Rapids, there we go. And a little bit East Clinton there. Let's bring up the radar from what's going on right now. Look at these lighting up right now. Let me pause this for a second. Let's see. I see a hook. I just see it right there. It's not the most impressive. But right there, those last few frames. So if you watch, and I'm going to just draw this out real quick. Right in here. If you watch the last few frames, so it goes from nothing really to right in there, we have this twisting motion, that counterclockwise rotation. There may be a tornado dropping in that specific area. And this is the reflectivity normal radar that we would see. But I just want to go into precipitation depiction to see if there's any hail. So right in here, that's just heavy rain. Ooh, yeah, that's pretty heavy rain inside of there. And now we're going to go into, where are you? This. It's called Digital Vertical Integrated Liquid. We're getting in there. That red, that is hail. There's a hail core inside there. There's a hail core inside there as well. And I also want to check the echo tops, basically the height of the clouds. And I know there's dark green right in here. There we go. That keeps coming up. So that's 30, about 35,000 to 43,000 feet up. That is what's inside here. And my kind of general rule of thumb is anything 40,000 feet or higher has enough energy to produce a tornado. And Raymond, I see you have joined. Thank you for joining. How are you doing? Raymond or Delvin, you guys got any plans for a Memorial Day barbecue or something in your area that's home or socially distant? So there, I see a tornado in that little spot. Let me go back to reflectivity. So Raymond, if you just joined, I don't know if you saw before, there's a hook. It's not the most impressive, but if we just kind of go through each frame of the radar, we see this hooking kind of spinning counterclockwise. So that's in that system. Let's see. Do we see any hooks inside here? Inside this tornado warning. I don't really see anything that's pretty obvious. Oh, wow. There's a town named after me. Look at that. There's a town named Andrew. I don't know if it's named after me, but... So we have that tornado warning there. And I think that was it for the tornado warnings. Although, there's one more south. Here we go. Let's take... Oh, there's another one. So in here, let's take a look at this system. I don't see any, like, solid hook inside of there. I don't really see anything inside of that hook either, but that's getting near the end of the radar's view. However, there's a tornado report right there. National Weather Service employee tornado reported on the ground. So that I'm very confident in, because it's reported. The Storm Prediction Center has the storm reports, and the reports show from a National Weather Service employee, tornado reported on the ground. And they have good training. All the meteorologists have good training as to what makes what looks like a tornado, and I'm pretty confident in that. So there is a tornado on the ground there. And the other one that I was fascinated with before, because there is the hook right in there. I don't see any reports around this area. But we'll see that hook start to like form right in there. So that looks like it's the most active. Let's see a couple of these other tornado reports. Funnel cloud, here we go. So not a tornado, this was public. Relayed by law enforcement, rotating wall cloud with funnel not touching the ground. This says tornado. Cedar Rapids, warning point of tornado on ground and moving north, time estimated using radar. Law enforcement, so more reliable source than general public, but they may not, law enforcement may not have the right meteorological understanding to know if it's a full tornado or not. So it's higher up on the reliability scale, but not as reliable as either a trained spotter or National Weather Service employee. But still, I would give that some pretty good grounds as there's a tornado there. Fire department rescue, kind of the same thing as law enforcement. Lipson Fire Chief reported a tornado on the ground south of Saltliff. There are multiple reports and photos from the same area. Very interesting. So we have active area right in there. And now that kind of shows the most active part. But now going back to the northeast, when we take a look at the northeast, we really aren't seeing too much of anything. Yeah, we're going to see some maybe garden variety thunderstorms, like I was seeing one out in the Atlantic right in here, kind of heading towards Long Branch. Right there. We'll see if it still continues. But let's start to head. There's the enhanced risk where everything is. Let's start to head now, just really quickly. National Hurricane Center. Nothing to talk about there. Because we did have our first named storm. Tropical Storm Arthur. Nothing in the Atlantic, nothing in the Pacific. And for those in Hawaii, nothing in Central Pacific. All right. Quick look at the GFS for the rest of Memorial Day weekend. We're going to be seeing on the GFS here the showers on and off, maybe a few storms here and there, really until this evening. 0Z Sunday right here. That is about 8 p.m. Eastern time. So really that's about it. And then going into the overnight hours, a little bit of clearing going into the first part of your day tomorrow. It also looks like it's going to be clearer. And the GFS here really doesn't have anything for Sunday. Going into Monday for Memorial Day itself, it stays relatively clear around the tri-state region, more northwest, New York State there. That kind of level from New York State down to, it looks like North Carolina. That's kind of the level because, let's see, that's a low pressure. This high pressure is still having an influence even though it's not directly over the area. Now for the euro, let's see, again, same thing. It clears out. Then for tomorrow, yep, that's for Sunday. It really doesn't have anything either. And then going into Memorial Day Monday, it stays relatively clear. Now, I would say maybe there's an ever so slight chance of a shower, more central New York State. The closer you get to the ocean, it looks like there's a marine layer influence happening. And that marine layer is really just keeping everything a little bit more stable. So that's all it's really showing. And the same thing kind of going from Monday into Tuesday, but we're going to talk about just through Monday through Memorial Day. All right, going back from pivotal weather to tropical tidbits, I have the icon model up here. So let's take a look at this. This one has it, same thing, clear out. There's the high pressure I was talking about, 1029 millibars. And it looks like we're going to be staying kind of in the influence of that high pressure system. So, When we take a look through the icon here, going into overnight Saturday into Sunday, it clears out. And then for Sunday, it really isn't showing anything. We'll take a look at some cloud data in a second, but the icon here keeps it pretty clear. Now for Memorial Day Monday, unless you're more, that's kind of setting up that same line right here. So here's the GFS. The line's a little bit more west. Let me just see. 0Z Monday. That was 9Z Monday. So here's the same time. 0Z Monday on the icon. 0Z Monday on the GFS. So they're just about the same. And it really doesn't advance too far east. So I'm going to freeze the GFS here, 12Z Monday. And then here, let's go to 12Z Monday. And between those two models, it actually looks pretty much the same. A few slight differences. And let's go to the Euro. Let's go to 12Z Monday. The Euro advances that line a little bit more easterly. But still, it looked like once it kind of hit that spot, it just petered out. That was really about it. All right. So Memorial Day, at least for the tri-state region, looks to be more on the dry side. And let's take a look at the NAM now. There we go. This is kind of what we're seeing now. The rain, the showers. It doesn't really have anything in terms of storms. And then that just pretty much peters out overnight tonight. Going into, let's see, tomorrow. Looks like it actually keeps it pretty clear until the overnight. There's still, here's our low pressure system with counterclockwise rotation. So it still looks like we may have a little bit of this kind of retrograde motion of east to west movement with those showers there. But again, it looks like it'll just come through Long Island, maybe a little bit to Connecticut, Massachusetts, Vermont, not really through New Hampshire, Maine, not really too much. But it's a weird little setup because we have storm or little spots of showers moving from east to west, and then we have some more heading from west to east, and they may collide in the middle. And then for Memorial Day Monday, again, it looks like we have that marine influence still from that high pressure system, which is right here. And anything that gets near the ocean just kind of peters out. So yeah, going through Albany, you may see some showers there. Was this 12Z Monday? Let's go back here. There's 12Z Monday. So the lines you could see are a little bit different between the icon here and the NAM. The NAM's a bit more advanced. Here's 12Z Monday as well. So that's a little bit further back. The NAM was still the fastest. And the GFS is even further back. So the GFS is the slowest, and the NAM looks like it's the fastest, trying to bring this line through. All right. Now, the last thing I do want to start to take a look at, too, we actually got a little bit of time. I wanted to keep this right around a half hour. Let me bring this next one up. I forgot to open that tab, which is the Moss data. Here we go. We got some Moss data. Once that loads, there we go. Let's bring this into view. All right. So here, this is the Moss data. Yes, Raymond, let's talk about that. We're going to talk about that with temperatures here. So let's take a look at the next couple of days first, and then it'll give you that little bit of a teaser on why you might want to have your air conditioning ready to go. So overnight tonight, we're here, Newark Airport, GFS, low 50s, upper 40s, and this is Islip in Long Island, and then upper 40s for Westchester. So upper 40 to low 50s overnight tonight. Going to tomorrow's high, low to mid 60s. Let's see, we got low 60s and low to upper 60s. That's the big spread. So tomorrow looks like it's going to be in the 60s as well. Then we head into the 50s again, and then Memorial Day on Monday. Oops, sorry. Tuesday. I was looking at the wrong day. I know. My eyes were going. All right, so this is tomorrow's high. So that's Sunday's high, Sunday night, Monday. Here we go. So Monday's high for Memorial Day. Upper 60s to the low 70s. Upper 60s. Low, maybe mid 60s, I'd consider that. And mid to upper 60s. So overall, I would give that a consensus of mid 60s to low 70s for Monday. And then going beyond that, this is the extended, the GFS extended. So there's that 71 that the GFS was putting out for Monday in Newark. 80, 84. Wow, look at that. In Boston. Let's take a look in Boston specifically. So there may be this, unless you're comfortable with 70s to around 80. Let's take a look at Boston here real quick. Let me pull up that data from Boston. One Stop Moss. All right, Massachusetts and Boston. There we go. I got the Moss data up for Boston. All right. Where is the extended? Here's the extended. So here, this is where, Delvin, you may want your AC if you don't have it in. So Tuesday, low to mid 70s, then it's touching 80, upper 70s. So that middle of the week, we're going to have maybe some warmer weather. So that's from the Moss data. And let me also bring up here, for Boston specifically, because the National Weather Service. Here we go. Boston. The Boston temperatures I haven't followed too much. I figured they would be about the same. But I just want to see what they are doing. So here's the National Weather Service. So let me show you this, Delvin. So this is, here we go, Boston. Come on, zoom in. There we go. So Tuesday, 79. Wednesday, 85. Thursday, 85. Then it drops back down to about 80. And then 76. So the heart of the week is going to be warm. That's why I'm going to make sure my air conditioning is going to be in by tomorrow or Monday. Probably tomorrow. Because Monday is going to be a little bit warmer as well. All right. That wraps up this just about half-hour long Weekend Outlook forecast live that I always like to do. So thank you all for joining. And again, I'm going to try and do 2 live and 2 uploaded videos per week. So this is right now with the Weekend Outlook forecast, which normally is on a Friday. Then maybe a video on Monday and Thursday. And then live Tuesday and Friday. So that's what I'm going to try and get to. So Delvin, Raymond, thank you guys for joining. Oh. Tuesday morning is too late to put AC in Boston. Tuesday still would be okay. Let me get there. So let me just bring that up real quick again here. So here's Boston, Tuesday. So the high for Tuesday is 74, it's showing here. So I would still say it's okay. And I think the National Weather Service, I closed it already, but was going a little bit higher. But still, Tuesday morning is okay to put your air conditioning in. But I would definitely, at the latest, Tuesday would be the latest to have your AC in, because then it's going to get warm for the rest of the week until it starts cooling off again when we get near next weekend. And then in terms of this setup, I'm going to try and figure out why I'm still getting pretty low FPS. Right now, it's showing with the webcam about 19 FPS. So I got to figure out why. I think I have a sneaking suspicion why. Because the iMac screen is a 5K screen, and it's outputting at 1080. And Delvin, you're welcome. So it's trying to, in real time, render from 5K down to 1080. And then, so it's transcoding and then encoding to go to YouTube for the stream. But Ethernet works really well. There's not been any dropped frames, and I am glad. All right. So thank you guys for joining. And I hope I could provide a nice little entertainment for you. So if I don't see you on Monday, there may be, actually I'm going to try and see if I have a Memorial Day special out for Monday. But otherwise, if I don't see you guys, have a great weekend. Then stay safe. Try and stay as cautious as you can in these times with COVID going around, social distancing, washing your hands. That's the best thing we can do right now. All right, so again, thank you guys for joining. It was a great conversation. I hope you stay safe. This is meteorologist Andrew Pinero. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all in that next video.